G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, 30 degrees. So the night times get down to about 20. The evenings, or the daytime is 30 at the moment. And the last few days in the shed here, I've hopped up at 6. Yesterday it was, Sunday I slept in a little bit. I didn't get up here till 7. But 7, and I stayed up until around 6 o'clock last night. I think I got home 10 to 6 back at the house. And so I put in a couple of big days, and I thought I had the TE20 really close to just set the hydraulics, put the draft or the position control thing on and get it out, and away we go. But as you fellas that do tractors up, you'll understand that when you get there and you start fine tuning things and buggering around, you find an extra job to do. And I've got all the, I fitted a new aftermarket wiring harness all the way. Pardon me. And look, that fitted great. I had to change a couple of ends, just a couple of little crimp terminals, and that was it. I was very pleased with that. The levelling box on the rear linkage, I've got a video out doing one of those up, and I'll probably try and put a link up here. Oh, I don't know which bloody side it's going to go. But anyway, up there, I've only just learned how to do these cards. I watch all these YouTube channels and everyone knows how to put cards on and this and that and the rest, and I know how to fix tractors. So some of the stuff that YouTube can do for me, I haven't been using, and I just do me stews, do me tractor things and get it out there. But Sparex gave me a nice brand new shaft to fix my levelling box. I can't even see the bloody number on that at the moment. But they gave me a new shaft, a new gear because the gear was missing completely, and the new bearing for the levelling box. But by putting a new shaft and all that on, fair enough, I'd get a nice working levelling block. But the 1951 tractor behind the camera there that I bought a few weeks back with the Howard reduction box in it and the alloy bonnet, it had an old one on it that worked, looks okay, and I chose to take it off that tractor, put it on this 1954 one, because I'm trying to leave this in its working clothes, and I can only do that to a certain extent. Like you can see, it's got a new starter on it, it's got a new carb, it's got a new generator. A few knickknacks around, you'll see a brand spanking new. But look, they'll age in time, and the whole tractor will come together as a nice old, just original looking tractor, which is the aim for this tractor. Not to paint it up, not to do anything like show tractor. It's just to have an original old tractor. If we get down to the Fergie muster at Brendamere, depending on all this COVID stuff does, if we get down there, this is a tractor we're going to take down there, and it starts and runs beautifully. I haven't tuned it really, just the original settings I did when I set the points and when I did bits and pieces, bang, it just fired right up. And you may remember, back a couple of months ago there when I first started the engine, before I started splitting it and doing hydraulics and all that sort of stuff. You may remember I just hit the key then and the bloody thing went. So it's no different now. It runs well. I put a light switch in with a couple of positions, so if I ever want to put a light on it, I can. I probably won't, but but I can. So the original levelling box off the 1951 is on the tractor. It looks the part. And that's just one new bit less. You haven't seen it yet, but this triangle plate, I put in the video for assembling the lift cover, I put a triangle plate on, and I thought it would slide over the guide, but it obviously didn't, and I buggered the plate up. And but look, I'm leaving that in the video, showing me stuff up. So everyone stuffs up. I don't care if you know I stuff stuff up. So I assembled the hydraulics, got the top cover on, and then this last weekend I had time to go and get a new tin cover, and oh, where is that, Lance? Excuse me for a minute. This guide here. So this is the guide for the spring, where the spring sits over the guide and the felt goes in here, and this tin cover goes over top. So what my trouble was these were quality ones that I had tucked away. These parts here, the outer diameter here was different sizes on the aftermarket ones, and they're all just a little bit bigger than my original one, which is in the bin. I wish I didn't chuck it in the bin now. It was broken and I did, but yeah, I need to give myself bloody good talking to about that. So I took these up, machined the outer diameter so it fitted through the tin cover nicely, and I thought, right, job done. So I came back, went to put it all together again, and what the problem is these tin covers, I'm pretty sure this one's the right size, but the triangle plate that that the seal and all sits in, it had quite a large lip on it, and what was happening was these tin covers, they catch on that lip. So I took it up the front and I machined that lip right down to 1.5 millimetres, but it's sunk into the housing. Like that plate was originally made out of a bit of 12mm plate by the look of it, and it's sunk into the housing there, and the guide and all sits flush, and the felt's in there well. But look, that's in a video coming up, all the hassles I had doing that. So that took most of Saturday morning. Then I've adjusted the hydraulics up, and to adjust the hydraulics up, I put them way out of adjustment, and I actually spent probably most of Saturday afternoon fiddling with the adjustments on the hitch. And today's job, now I've got the tractor done, today's job is to film the adjustments on the lift cover. And look, it's a very simple job once you've got your head around why something happens. There's two main adjustments, it's that simple. Not hard to get wrong. Well, it shouldn't be hard to get right really, but it is an easy adjustment. So I'm going to film that this morning. We geared up for that. I've got the tractor all ready, and just once I've done the stew, we'll probably do that. That Howard reduction tractor I bought for $1,500, best bloody buy I've had in ages. In regard to the tyres, the rims and the tyres on the 54 here, the tyres were buggered, and I was thinking of putting new rubber on it, but one thing that annoyed me with the whole look of the tractor was the centres at the back are all this natural looking colour, but the rim on this side, someone had put a red rim on it. So I know it's part of the story of the tractor, but anyway, the 51 reduction box tractor, it had a new 12.4/28 on the right as you sit on the seat, and this other one, there's an aeroplane going over the top, and this one here on the left, it's got good tread on it. Look, it's perished a little bit, but look, that's fine. It's going to do the job. This isn't it isn't a trekking tractor or anything like that. It's just a tractor we did up to do the videos on, and we'll use it around the property here and muck around. I may even put a good drawbar on it or something, or I don't know. I have a nice plough over there that matches it, so it's going to go outside, get a really good wash, where it used to dribble down the side of the gearbox where the steering box leaked, and there's a few places that it needs a really good bath, so it'll get that. It didn't get a real good bath before I brought it into the bay here. I chose not to do it. I didn't think I needed to. It's got the later axle seals in it. I haven't done anything on the back end really. The Axle seals have a little bit of grease around them, but there's no oil leaking. The wheels feel good, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Yesterday, a couple of the tie rod, the track rods, they go from the steering box up to the front, they were all bent up and buggered around, so I went all my wrecks and bits and pieces, and I found a couple of straight ones that suit the tractor, but and I've put brand new tie rod ends on it, so the new tie rod ends look a bit out of place, but by the time I pressure clean it and sit it out in the weather for a few days and let everything weather up nicely, it'll be good. And then I'm going to tidy the bonnet. Like, the bonnet's got dust on it at the moment, but I'm going to get it outside, pressure clean the whole tractor, the bonnet, the whole bit, let it all dry out, and then I'm going to put a sealer over the top of the bonnet, just a clear one. It's just to, probably not a gloss one if I can find one, just a matte one. And I'm just going to seal that patina in, and that's just the end of the story with it. It'll be done fine. You can see I'm close to finishing the tractor. See all the shit on the bench behind me? I don't know if everyone's the same as me, but by the time I get to the end of a job, I've got shit everywhere. But the floor's good. Once I've finished, the seat's still off, but I've left that off for filming the hydraulics and that at the moment. So 2 bolts and that's done, and she's ready to go. At the back of the bonnet sits a bit high off the dash. There should be a hoop in there. It's not there. I'll find one of them. I might talk to Gordon or someone and see if we can find one of those. But look, by all accounts, the tractor's done. I'll film this hydraulic bit, and look, that's it. There was a bolt. I couldn't find a proper bolt for the front axle, with the proper 1 1/16 head, so I nicked one off one of the FE35s. It's a bit like rob Peter to pay Paul here, but the tractor, once this tractor's done and finished, nothing will be taken off it. It's just left there. We're leaving all the dints and all the life story on the tractor. It's not rubbing on tyres or anything, so we're going to leave it be. For those of you who... Someone asked me about the spacer for the multi-power. Now, if you're blocking your multi-power, where the little ratchet is on the bottom of the clutch pack there, you can make a little spacer, and the spacer sits in there so it can't ratchet and it just locks it solid. And that one item there will lock up your multi-power. So just for interest's sake, if you want to write it down or whatever you want to do, the outside diameter is 71 millimetres. The inside diameter is 54 millimetres, and it's 4 millimetres wide. Yeah, 4 millimetres wide. So someone asked me and I couldn't find that bloody thing for looking, Anyway, I've been, apart from working on the tractor, I have been tidying up around the place. I've been slowly working on an extra area. Just an hour or two every weekend, but it's paying dividends. I found that at least anyway. So people have asked me about that, so that'll be a good thing. I had a little magnet and a little coil magnet, and I started my apprenticeship in 1977, and it was a great little magnet with only a 1/4 inch tip on it. And I don't know how, but I went to use it the other day. Not a sausage of magnetism in it. I don't know whether when I was playing around with the magnetos I demagnetised it or whatever, but it was all a bit dicky. So I went to Trade Tools through the week and I bought a nice little 6mm magnet. Now, I also bought a heavy duty one. Now, the 2 magnets do 2 different jobs. This little one, they've always been really handy for when you're working on gearboxes, down the hole to pull the ball out and things like that, things that get a bit stuck in there. So that one's got its own particular job. I have one of these magnets up at the machine shop, but it's another telescopic, just a stiff one. I'll buy a flexible one as well, and you have your magnet here, and this has got some go to it, and it has a little alloy sleeve on the side there. And you know when you're putting your magnet somewhere and you're trying to feed it down a hole and it keeps bloody sticking to everything on the way? Well, when you put the little collar down, it's not magnetic. So probably a bit of an example would be, like as you're coming down here, that wants to stick there. And you bring this little alloy collar down, and look at that. You can slide it down the side of the gearbox and that, and not click every bloody gear and everything else along the way. So I bought one of these for up the back here because I have one up the front, and I found it to be a good tool. And then while you're looking, I haven't had a mirror on a stick for ages, but now I can do my hair. Hang on. Bloody beautiful. But now I can do my hair and look down all sorts of things. So it's just a flexible little magnet, so I can look at things and fiddle around. And it's just funny, you know, that I bought this last week, and on my hydraulics, I had a bit of a stuff up, and the ball in the lift cover in the later ones, they have like a pressure regulating valve sort of thing there. The ball there, I started the tractor and the hydraulics didn't work, and I'm thinking, there's nothing in it. Why can't it not work? But what had happened is, when I put that valve in, I didn't put it in until it was on the tractor. And I put a heap of grease on it, and there's a little 4-prong cage that hangs onto the ball. And I put a heap of grease on it and bumped around, but to get it, you've got to poke it down the hole, and there's a shoulder in there, then you've got to get it up over the next bit. But what happened, unbeknownst to me, was when I was putting that in there, the bloody ball come out of that little cage. And the ball disappeared. And I thought, what the bloody hell? So I'm down there with the light and the magnet and buggering around, and no ball. So what's happened, and it's a bloody catch for old players and new players, I suppose. On the left-hand side, you can shim adjust that. And that little ball, if you don't have a heap of grease or something holding it into that cage, which I did, but I ginned around a bit with it. And where the oil comes up through the orifice, takes the ball off the seat and drains down the side, that's big enough for the ball to drop down. So the ball's dropped down into my gearbox, run down the side somewhere, and I cannot find the bloody thing. And I had me magnets in and everything around, so I suppose it'll just find a happy spot and sit there. And one day when I've got the lift cover off, playing with it or something like that, I might be able to find it, but I couldn't find it. So I got another ball. I didn't have another ball the right size, so I found a little 6203 or 4 bearing or something or other, and cut him open with the grinder and got a ball bearing out of that, and put it in, and the hitch worked fine. But I didn't know, and it's a bit of a shit design really, I didn't know that if you didn't grease that ball in well enough into that guide, it would go down, it could just disappear on you. So probably take note of that if you're thinking of doing things like that. These PDO collars for the TE20 that I was whinging about last week, that no one tells me, and then they say, oh, there's only got one, we need some of them in a hurry. Well, I got, it took a couple of afternoons. I buy the hollow shaft, and then I stick it out, then I put it in I machine down the side, then I put it in a fixed steady and try and part him off. But out past that steady, I just could not get a decent bloody cut. The finish was horrible. So I parted a bit off, and I ended up making, I think I've made 10 of these fellas, these little collars that go on the PDOs. And so I'll just drop that in the oil there. And so we've got plenty of those collars again. And yeah, through the week I got the laser going, and I had to cut, you know, your 12-hole gaskets for the axles. No one sells them. They sell the shims, they sell the 6-hole gaskets for the TE20s and the early FE35s, but the 12-hole we can't seem to find them. But anyway, I've got it all set up now, and we make our gaskets 0.4 of a millimetre thick. So and we run out of them all the time too. And then we run out of gasket paper. I'm waiting for an order to come in. Oh, bloody unorganised sometimes, but anyway, not to worry. But look, that's it. To finish the stew, I'll take you for a little walk around the tractor, just so you can visualise what I've been talking about. The muffler, it used to just have a straight pipe. The muffler on it's an old muffler I took off Goldie, and when I turned Goldie into the little trekking tractor for around town here and put a canopy on it, I found the exhaust coming down underneath, which I thought would be a great thing, get the sound away. But it went down the back and must have hit the carryall and come back in, and God, it was noisy. So I pissed that off, just put it in my spare parts, and I put an upswept exhaust on the Gold tractor, and it made it quieter. It just got the sound away, but I did get an extension pipe made about so much just to get the smoke up and the exhaust and that up above the canopy. So I had a spare muffler there. I've had a spare muffler cover. Some of the early tractors had a muffler cover, so when you didn't have foot plates and that on the TE20s, well, if you did have foot plates, the foot plates would get hot, but you had a hot muffler there, so there's a cover there I've had for ages tucked away. I've got fitted to that too. So what are you doing? Hey, bloody dogs. This one, you can't see it, it's the border collie of the young blokes. It's here for good now. Hey, you're a bugger of a dog. Rolled in. Oh, you're going to hop up and have a little chat now. Okay, hello. And this thing the other day, we had a couple of rats around, and of course we put the poison out, and this thing found a dead rat and rolled in it. Well, holy, hey, you weren't very popular. Well, very popular at all. And they come in and they think they smell so bloody nice, you know, come and talk to you, and I'm thinking, holy geez, I'm nearly heaving. But anyway, that's dogs. Anyone with dogs will know. Kelly doesn't do that. She did when she was a pup, but she seems to have grown out of it. So anyway, but look, that's it for the stew this week. I'll take you for a quick walk around the Fergie, just to show you what we've done, show you what the rims look like, the tyres and all that sort of thing. And yeah, that'll do. Thanks for dropping by. Have a great week. It's Monday today. I've got to go to work Tuesday, but Wednesday in Australia is Australia Day, 26th of January. So 26th of January, I told you all I'm going to start that Massey Ferguson 65 this year. I'm nearly a month gone in the year and I haven't even got it in the bay. So that's going to happen. If it doesn't happen this afternoon, I can get this tractor out under the hoist and out of the way. And well, that's Wednesday's job at the very least. Get that tractor up in here. I've got to get the wheels off, which that's got the heavy cast centres on, and I may get it to where I can use the forklift for that if I can. And because they've got an odd pattern on them, it's hard to see. Oh, I am looking for a set of pressed steel centres for the back of a 65. So there's the centre piece, then the next piece. I'm looking for low clearance, probably a set of high clearance I could live with the 38 inch, but I would prefer the low because this tractor was a low clearance tractor to start with. And look, I'm on the hunt for a set of them, just for the centres that fit a normal set of, you know, your 6 stud 28 inch rims and all that. I'm happy to buy them, you know, buying them's no worries. I am going to be selling the rear wheels and tyres and the front heavy cast centres and the spacers and probably the longer wheel studs to take the cast centres. So if anyone's got a 65 that's within travelling distance that wants to do a bit of a swap or a change or has something for sale or wants to buy them, let us know. I'll probably put an ad out on Marketplace once I get it done. But look, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week, and I'll go handheld and I'll give you a bit of a look at this little tractor. Oh, it used to be called Smokey. Doesn't smoke a sausage. We need a new name. Okay, catch you later. Okay, here's this bloody good looking dog. Hey, we talking about you? We do. Hey, we were bloody talking about you the other day, old bloody Tinkerbell. That's what you should be called. Anyway, hop out of the frame. Go and chase a... What's this? I think there's a Skippy outside. Go and have a look. Might be Skippy. Even Kelly's off the chair. They're going to have a look at a bullshit Skippy. Okay, on the PDO here, that's the PDO shaft that I put in. Now this cup I want to put the small cap on, but you'll notice when it's screwed up it doesn't quite go all the way, and that's because over the life of the tractor this housing wears down. People wear them out, and they have like grass and things rubbing against them, the bolt rubbing against them, and when you have them up all the way, where's that? I'll keep you in frame. When you have them up all the way sometimes, there's not enough thread left to fix it. So looks like this one I've machined down to, I've got rid of the worn edge, but I need to get a cap. So, and then machine a few threads off the cap so it seals properly. That there, I'll zoom out a bit, that there is the levelling box off the 1951. I've got all that plate all sorted now. You can see the key switch. That's a key switch that one clicks ignition, second clicks lights and ignition, third click is just lights. So that's done. I'll come around. That's the rim and tyre. Now the centre is original. I just put the outer rim and tyre on the tractor, and that matches the front one nicely now. Now you can see the generator and carb and all that. Now the muffler that I put on is down through here, and that's that cover. Now that was a Bearco cover. You can see the brake pedal here, she's got a big whoop in it, and I'll probably straighten that out just to see. New tie rod ends. The bonnet's on. So yeah, the bonnet's on there, that's a good thing. There's a few little dings and that in the bonnet, which they're going to stay there. I am thinking of putting a badge on the front though. Anyway, we'll see. Same thing around here. I've got the tie down lugs underneath the axle. I did all the wheel alignment yesterday, laying on the floor there, and got all that sorted out. The new coil, all that. Now, with the hoop missing from around the bonnet, you can see there's a bit of a gap there, and the catch is done up. So the catch is done up, the bonnet can't go anywhere, but there's usually a hoop at the back there that needs doing. So we'll get into that. Yeah, that's a straight brake pedal.